You're going to want to watch this one. That's for sure.
Ginger Runner.
What is up, everybody? Ethan Newberry, the Ginger Runner, here for another gingerrunner.com review. Today, I'm congested. Get used to it. But man, I don't even care because I am so excited about today's review. The product I'm reviewing from Hoka, it is the Speed Instinct. This is an important shoe. I am excited. It's as if the Nike Kiger, Nike Wildhorse, Saucony Kinvara, Hoka Clayton, and Hoka Speedgoat all had a weird mutant baby / love child. This Speed Instinct would be the result. A lower stack height shoe from Hoka, 26-23, 3mm drop. In comparison, the Wildhorse is a 28-20 with an 8mm drop. Tons of this crisscrossing welded overlay on the upper. Pro squared light technology here in the midsole material basically means protection cushioning in the heel and a propulsion cushioning in the forefoot. It's a whole bunch of all around goodness. I've had the shoe for a number of weeks now, and I knew that I had to get this review out as soon as possible because I believe the shoe is coming to market very soon. Depending on when you watch this review, it might already be on the market, or going off the fact that some of you comment on videos years old, it might already be discontinued, I don't know. But as of July 2016, it's brand new. Since receiving the shoe, it has become my go-to trail runner, and I really am liking it. Great for faster long. Ooh, something's in my eye. It's my finger. It was my finger. Great for faster long hauls as it tends to gravitate more towards a traditional running shoe form, but there is no lack of cushioning here, and I'll get to that in a bit. Here's a fun comparison. You might remember that I liked the Hoka Clayton recently, and despite the fact that on the medial side there were some issues with blistering, I managed to make a little modification there, cut the upper right out, fix the problem. What I really was hoping for was a trail version of this shoe, nice and light, plenty of cushioning, and a more aggressive outsole. The Speed Instinct is kind of that, kind of not that, but it is a sweet-ass shoe that I can't wait to review for you today. Here are the things I like and dislike about the Speed Instinct. Starting with things that I like. Comfort. I'm going to say this is Hoka's first real big winner since the Clifton One and Challenger ATR One. That's a big claim from me, as I loved both of those shoes and wore them in many, many races. This shoe gets me as excited as those. It's a wonderful balance between cushioning and responsiveness, especially with this divided pro squared light technology that they're utilizing, with a little bit softer heel and a bit more aggressive in the forefoot. The upper comfort with no rubbing. It's nice and soft. The shoe is fast when you need it. It is overall a very comfortable shoe, not too narrow, and that's a good thing. Outsole. Just enough lugs. Now, for those of you who are running in mud in crazy fell environments, the lugs probably won't be long enough for you. Though, if you run in wetter climates or even climate that also changes to dry, like in Southern California, these lugs are awesome. Perfect length, fairly aggressive in the forefoot. Not a lot going on in the heel, but I'm liking what they're doing here. I also like this webbed outsole, so it provides protection. Anytime you step on a rock, it all tends to engage without adding too much weight or becoming too cumbersome or too tight and inhibiting flexibility. Good outsole. Durability. Now for Hoka, this is huge, and I think this is why I like this shoe so much, is that over the time that I've had it, maybe 60 miles plus at this point, and I'm going to be running a lot more in it, the shoe hasn't broken down. While it's broken in, the upper is still in one piece. There's no fraying, no holes, nothing popping, nothing stretching too much. There's a bit of wear on the outsole, which is to be expected. A lot of the trails out here tend to be super buffed out and hard, also really rocky in spots, so I was expecting a little bit of that, but overall the durability on this shoe is quite different than previous Hokas that I've run in. It's durable. That's good. And finally, looks. When you put these shoes on, they're gonna feel and look less Hoka-y than other models, which I think for a lot of you who watch my reviews are really gonna like. This is the ugliest color version of this shoe. There are two others, at least in the men's styles, that are so much better looking, and I don't think this is too bad. So that's saying a lot. I'm giving looks a like on a Hoka shoe. That's weird, but alright. So I've gushed on this shoe quite a bit here. Let's talk about some of those things that I dislike. There's not a lot of them. First of all, the upper. This crisscrossing welded overlay really kind of tightens in the upper, inhibiting some of that outwards flexibility that you might need, especially if you have a wider forefoot. It's not real forgiving, though it does let you lock down your feet a little bit better, especially for trail running. But also, the upper gets real hot. Because it's multiple layers, that heat and moisture retention can become an issue. It has a little bit here in Southern California. I've kind of looked past it just because I'm enjoying the ride in it. But just know that it's a hot running shoe. Weight. 10.3 ounces in a size 11, which is my size. I would love for it to be trimmed down a little bit. You can probably lose a little bit of weight here in the upper, matching something like the Clayton as far as thinness. But even at 10.3 ounces, that's not a ton of weight. There are other shoes that I reviewed that are heavier than that. I don't notice too much of the weight. I just wish it could be a little bit lighter. If they could go sub 10, that'd be rad. And finally, outsole. I mentioned it. It's worn down a bit in the 60 miles that I put into it. Just means it's going to continue to wear down. It's okay. The trails that I have around here are fairly buffed out, fairly dry 99% of the time. So I am aware that these lugs will wear down a little bit, and there aren't any real lugs here in the center of the heel. So on some of those descents where you are most likely going to strike in your heel, especially in some of the steeper descents, don't expect many of these lugs to grab because they're only on the perimeter, they're not so much in the middle. Which I thought was an interesting design choice to just leave this essentially blank. But that's it for dislikes. So yes, what we have here is a real fun winning shoe. I like it. While I have not yet reviewed the Hoka Tracer, I believe it's a very similar platform, geared more towards trail running. If the Tracer's anything like this, I'm excited about that shoe. But many of you have told me for months now that the Saucony Peregrine is like the Kinvara of the trails. I've run a little bit in the Peregrine. Guys, this is the Kinvara of the trails. You know how much I love the Kinvara on roads? This thing's a beast. I am super excited to run more in this. I think a lot of you will like this shoe, and I think a lot of you that may not have liked Hoka in the past will really like this shoe, because it is vastly different than some of their other offerings. I mean, just look at this. Looking at the outsole shape of the Speed Instinct versus the Clayton surface area is vastly larger than the Speed Instinct. Some of you don't like this. Some of you don't like all that stability in your shoe. You like a little bit more nimbleness, and that's where this shoe is going to come in. It runs a lot like a Nike Kiger, Nike Wildhorse, Saucony Kinvara. Good ground feel. Should be really fun, especially for those of you who like to go fast on the trails. As with all of my reviews, if you guys want to find out more information about the Speed Instinct, I have a link in the description below where you can go get them, including a coupon over at Running Warehouse. Use it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of this video. Now let's get on with the points. Quality. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. It's a good quality shoe. There are going to be some durability issues, I think, in the long term, but overall, decent quality. Comfort, again, 4 out of 5. Really where this shoe suffers is just on some of those really long hauls. I know people that just ran Western States in this shoe. So I've yet to run an Ultra in it, but I will this summer, just because I have liked it so much. So I'll report back on that. Overall, I think comfort, 4 out of 5. Price, at $130, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. That's a fairly decent price. It's on the lower end for a Hoka, which is really good. And finally, looks, 5 out of 5. Maybe not this color version, but the other two color versions are so awesome. So I'm going to give it a full 5 out of 5 on looks, and also purely because it is, I think, one of the better looking Hokas. Which brings our grand total to 17 out of 20, a solid score for the Speed Instinct. This is a good thing, and I'm excited to see what you guys think as well. So please report back in the comments of this video what you think of this shoe if you get a chance to try it out. And that is it for today's review. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, like, favorite, and subscribe to this channel, youtube.com/thegingerrun. I'm doing new reviews, new videos every single week. And of course, follow me across social media. Over on Twitter, it's @thegingerrunner. On Facebook, facebook.com/thegingerrunner. On Instagram, it's @EthanNewberry. And of course, gingerrunner.com. Every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, doing live shows right here with special guests. And if you want to help keep the lights on and the mics hot, please visit patreon.com/thegingerrunner. And for as little as $1 a month, you basically help this channel stay alive. It also helps me to continue to bring in products to review 100% honestly, which is what I will continue to do on this channel forever. Gotta keep it real. That's it. Hope you guys are getting out there, training hard, racing harder, and partying the hardest. I know I am. We'll see you guys next week. Bye!